Hello and welcome to Let's Play, or not Let's Play, Let's Draw our Dining and Doodles. I don't know why I've got audio coming through the speakers instead of my headphones, so let me set this. Alright, welcome to Let's Draw. Today we are doing ourselves some work on a request this week to do Luna from My Little Pony Friendship Adventure. So those of you who are joining in, chat in the boxes below. So I got Twitch right where I'm looking at right now, and above that is the YouTube and Facebook. So you can chat away. I will try to keep an eye on chat as we go, but we're going to get on with this because it may take a little while. As always, we have a reference up here to go from, which is very important with these. Today's reference, well, actually, alright, let's move this here and enlarge it. Scale. And one of the main things to deal with the My Little Pony characters, they aren't done in black ink. They're done in colored ink. So when you go about doing their outlines, it's good to note down what colors each of them have for where their outlines are. Typically, you're going to have your base ponies form. And I'll go ahead and show you what the base kind of look like in this case. So we have the base pony, which is this part right here. I've added a horn, I've added wings, and then we're doing sort of a wind-blown hair with the tail because it is Luna. So she's going to be a little bit more blown off and away and whatnot. So when we add in the sketch that I did over it, sort of getting more details with her, then we're going to go on over to the next layer. And we have our color to start with. So I want to make sure I'm doing this in the right spots. So I'm also going to put this on. Not completely make that go away. Let's fade it. Oh, wrong layer. Fade it. Just so I can see, because the neck part here is going to change as we go, and as always I like to start with a 20, but actually I am going to boost up because they are thick lines in this series. I am going to actually double it, so we're going to go up to a 40 today. And typically whenever I do, let's see, I'm doing it all the wrong way. Whenever I do one of the My Little Pony characters in the comics, particularly in our comic series Magical Princess War, where they regularly appearing, including Luna herself is appearing in the comic. I tend to do the thicker lines for them. Actually, I'm going to undo that. It was a decent curve, but I want the mouth to be separate. Separately, do the nozzle. I might have to look and see how. I know they tend to do a pink, orange mouth and tongue, but I need to see how an open mouth line is done. Let's just bring that one down. And we're just going to bring it a little bit over on the corner here. And we're going to bring this around here. But it is the new year. I welcome all who are finding us through this new year, or just picking up where we left off of the new year. I am back into doing art a little bit. It's been a few weeks because I've been kind of off through health. but I am going to be back doing a lot of art starting this next week, on top of a couple of job interviews I'm going to be doing at the same time, and also doing some other side work. But streaming, if you follow us through our streaming platforms, we will be changing streaming. So streaming is officially changed as of now. Everything will be on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I do mean everything. Pretty much, the exception of Monday and Tuesday, and the only reason Monday and Tuesday are not is because I have conflicting schedules. So I can't do Monday and Tuesdays for streaming. On at least this platform. But we do have streaming that I'm in on, particularly movies galore. We're doing reviews regularly for streaming. I know we're going to be doing, I think, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in a few days, a few weeks. I don't recall which it is this week. I will have to check back up. Or, excuse me, Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory. We're going to watch the classic. I always get the two mixed up. Okay. Still kind of trying to adjust. Because I've set up the desk differently since we've got the new microphone set up. So it's kind of interesting to try and do drawings with it. When I'm off stream, I can easily push the microphone out of the way, but when I'm doing this stream, it's a little more complicated. So just do kind of a swoop. And I've been a fan of My Little Pony printing. I haven't watched the new stuff. I know there's some new stuff. I don't know. I guess it's on Netflix. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's on Paramount. I just don't know. All I do know is I enjoyed the series up to, I think I watched up to season 6. It was enjoyable, but it did get less and less. The humor wasn't quite as there, I feel, towards season 6. And yes, I do have some ponies from the series. A friend of mine gave me a Twilight Sparkle, which I have a rare, limited Twilight Sparkle. I have it sitting up on my bookshelf behind me as I work, actually. So, I mean, character's sitting back there right now. I had to admit that out of my friends, I was very much Twilight. I would overwork myself, and I would love to read. And I still do. I still love to read. I read a lot of, these days I'm reading a lot of light novels from Japan, particularly. Working my way through Konosuba and Shield Hero. Of course, always pick up some manga now and then. And that being said, there will be an anime show that I'm planning to try and release this month. I don't know the exact date, because I'm trying to get adjusted to the video editing software that I've got. So I'm trying to learn that as I go right now. That's what I kind of been doing this week. Off stream. So if you saw me off the stream this past week, which is sadly kind of rare because I did a lot of streaming this past week. Actually, no, this week I had done last week. The week before I did last week. This week I've been kind of scheduled, regularly scheduled. Yeah, I've been studying some editing software, as well as trying to deal with my health and dog sitting, as I said. This feather is just a pain in my butt. And as you can hear, we have some new music in the background. We weren't doing it originally, we were just doing kind of just background noise, which it's dull and boring. So we have tonight, we have a song that is called Our Cause. It's a free to use song. And I kind of like it. It's really nice, dramatic, sort of good for any kind of real dramatic moments. Gives you a little bit of that Marvel Heroes vibe. Which I think is what they were going for in this piece. I do need to do the background with lean in the back, but I need to see some things, because the main thing around her hind legs, I wanted to check that she does have that sort of mark, which it does change color. Okay, well, it doesn't change color on the outline. So that's the main key thing I wanted to make sure. Right there. And then we need white for her eyes, but that's going to be easier once they get the color in. And we need to do her horn. Horn's going to probably be the most pain in the butt to draw. I'm going to kind of bring a point and then bring it down. It's way too long. The reason why is because we're having issues with the tablet a little bit, with the setup. The tablet's working fine, it's just the setup. While I try and stream, it's a little impeding. So, there. Yeah, that'll probably work for the horn. So yeah, I mean, I will say out of the characters, my favorite princess in the My Little Pony series would be Luna. So actually, this is kind of enjoyable. I do enjoy pretty much all of them. Well, I feel Celestia's stuck up, and the joke came through in MLP or in our Magical Princess War, where they show up, and you see Celestia being kind of rather... Well, I mean, between being Herbert, confirming a relationship between her and Rick, from Rick and Morty, because, I mean, Rick does everything. The irony of it, also, she's a little bit of a jerk in there. But, I mean, she's kind-hearted, she's well-mannered. Or well-meaning. So, I mean, it's not exactly her doing it in the wrong way. It's just her being a bit of a jerk. And I always kind of felt like she kind of was. I mean, hell, what she did to Luna alone was kind of a jerk move. And then you have, of course, Luna's infamous she doesn't know the difference of how to act after she comes back. Let's take that out. Is there 3 or 4 under? They do. So we do need to do one more bump on the under. Don't want to do too much with the wing there. Let's actually undo that line. Simply because we got to do her hair. And when drawing Luna, a lot of issues, there's a lot of differences in her design than most of the characters. Most notably in her hair and her crown. I don't even know if I put in her crown properly. Oh, that is supposed to be her crown. Okay, so that's not her ear, that's her crown. I forgot the rule. There are very few times you'll see both ears on a pony in My Little Pony. It's just sort of the way they designed the character to be. They don't really show the ears twice. While in a real horse, if a horse has its ears perked up, it's going to be shown. That's only if it has its ears perked up, that is. Let's go over here and get her hair up wrong there. Okay. I want to do the outline of her hair, because her outline's going to be solid. But the inside has to be transparent, so we're going to be doing her hair on a different layer. The actual color of the hair. But we still have to do the outlines. Do a line under. Crown actually is the same color as its outline. The crown goes in black. So we want to kind of erase where we're going to do the crown. Okay. Now, let's see here. Is this the same color? It is. Okay. So, well, no, it's not. It's a different color. It's gray. Okay. Grayish purple. A little bit different color. It comes to a point, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, we're going to do her necklace, choker. I don't know what this will be. Bib? Collar? I mean, it's a horse, so I'd say it's a collar. But And again, the key with drawing any of the ponies in a My Little Pony drawing, if you draw them, outlines first. Always do the outlines first. Because they're pretty solid on the inside. There's nothing really dramatic about the coloring. I'm just going to go ahead and do the mouth pocket. Let's see here. So we're going to do hooves, which are decorated out in silver, I guess. And I do apologize for whoever requested this. I know this was a request for DeviantArt, but I believe their name, they changed their names or whatnot, so I got a redacted on their name when I was looking at it. And so I don't know who actually requested this by name. I do have your request. I just don't have your name. I am more than happy to come in and do this. For those of you who were expecting masking comic, I was off on which one, or masking drawing. I was off on which one was coming out this week. When I reported last week, the masking art is next week. So we have, and for those wondering, what the hell is masking? Why are you doing it? I have a lot of fans who are into masking. It came from a Steven Universe drawing that I did 7 years ago now. And I get requests to do the masking. I'm personally not into it, but hey, I go with what people want in life, and that's kind of how you do art. I did just put out a new setup for commissions. For those who are looking to do commissions with me, you want to know what the prices are. The commissions rates are out now. They basically state what they're going to be unless something changes financially over the next year or the rest of this year. They're going to be set at that rate for comics and emojis. If people want emojis done, got a few people request that. Tattoos. Always get requests from people to do tattoos. Now, I won't draw the tattoo, or I'll draw the tattoo as part of the art, but I will not put it on you. So don't go expecting me to put something on you. I hate needles, and I don't get a tattoo for myself because I do not like needles. Do not like blood. Unfortunately, I get it. I bleed a lot. Bleeding this morning, so I know far too often what blood looks like. Produces my blood. We're going to go ahead and color in the black marks. We got to still do her tail. And we've got to do her eyes. I'm going to go ahead and do the black since I've got it for the eyelash, and I'll come back over it. Partially because it's easier to kind of do it this way. let's get... tomorrow I will be doing another mask or another Patreon request. If you are a Patreon follower and you have had a request in before the New Year change, it's important that you note what's going on with Patreon with the change in the tier lists for the future, but it's I will leave it at there are some notes. Notifications for people who are Patreon sponsors. They're a little bit different than before. I'm offering things a bit differently. Part of that is because I want to make sure that we have the options available for those who can't sign on to Patreon. But also because of just the cost of things. A $5 subscription is a lot different than it was, or a dollar subscription is a lot different. And that's simply because it just financially is got to be done that way. With the way money things going up. Let's go. And we'll go grab the white. Actually, should be a point. Let's see. Do that. Her eye may be a bit too big. We'll see. I need that base color. That's too dark for her base color. Let's see. That looks way too dark. No, it's the same color. Alright. It's one of those optical illusions, I guess. We're going to go up and do the horn a bit later. Up a little later. Alright, the eye is definitely big. Alright, so we're going to shrink the eye. Very, very, very dramatic at certain points of the song. Things to expect besides the anime series and New Year from me. we will be doing another art stream. It'll be random and sporadic when it comes up. It's going to be called Redraw. It literally is going to be taking either requested original characters or popular characters that people may request to be done in the Redraw series. At which point we just basically turn around and draw those characters as I would draw them. So they're not going to be like you would see in a TV show or a movie that they're from. It's going to literally be how I would draw them. Or what I would do differently. So a good example is, maybe I redo the characters from Red Guardian Spice that recently came out that everybody hates. I hate it myself. It's not a good series, but yeah, I can do a redraw of those characters. I don't have a set date for that series. I don't have a set date for the anime review show. I am going to try and release those on Wednesdays. Everything's going to vary. We're going to be seeing how my time and schedule and life goes. A lot of things. Things could very much change in not in a good way in March for me. But we will try to make the best of it. And I will try to do as many of these streams as possible. Future for people, as well as other projects. A lot of it depends on jobs and prospects for me in the future. If I can get something going that I can physically do. And that's been the main hindrance this past year. Has been since I was hospitalized back in June, I've been physically unable to do certain tasks. I am legally declared disabled, but at the same time, it doesn't pay the bills. And so I have to find other work. I have a lot of avenues coming out. In fact, I have a bunch of interviews coming this week, and I've scripted that up there. But we need to work from there. Actually, let me do up here. We're going to do it below. Because we want this to sort of fade into the background. Of course, we're also doing gaming streams every Sunday now instead of Monday, because I have Monday night. I have other streams that I have to do on Monday nights that are part of a group. And then every Wednesday and Friday, we will be doing gaming streams. Right now, our Wednesday gaming is Pokemon Sword and Shield. We're doing what is called a type lock, Nuzlocke. It's a bit different than those who be like, oh, well, I'm choosing one type, and I'm going to work from there. The difference is in this, we basically take the types that go down the line, and what we catch, we note in our system And if we cannot do anything, basically we cannot catch another of that type until we've completed the list. And only then we can go back and be like, okay, well, here we are on the list with fire type or with flying type. It may not seem like an issue, but considering we've already lost 2 Pokemon dramatically, almost immediately, both hitting one-shot crits early in the game. We hadn't even gotten to the first gym yet. We're about to. We've lost our fire and our flying type before our grass type. So I'm literally going to be relying heavily on a level 20 Gyarados to get me through that gym, as well as probably a Pancham. It's not going to be a fun match. It's going to be a very difficult match. And the fact that I can't catch another flying type or another fire type until I go through areas that I've not caught anything and caught everything on the list, every type on the list, which I've not. It is ridiculously hard. So we could very well fail the challenge this upcoming Wednesday. Very easy. It's not one Sparkle, I want them sporadic. I actually have a Sparkle Brush, so this is what's going on here. And I'm going to put those on another layer because I do want to get this other hair strand here. But yeah, I mean, it's bigger part of it. Basically, it is a challenge that once you get to these type changes, you may have a type that's good for a gym, but if it dies, you're out of luck. And we can only take 2 Pokemon into a gym. Let's make it smaller, a bit. Or we can only take the Pokemon that are equal to the gym leader. And number. So we can't take more than 2 in the first 2 gyms, I think. And we will have backup Pokemon. We currently have a few. I think I left 2 areas purposely void. Try and play because I didn't like what was available at the time, and we can go back to them. I only have lost 1 that I was going to get, which was a rock type, which was killed instantly as we were trying to capture it. Try and do a little bit of cleanup work here with the lashes. I'm going to bring in the eyes. And then I got to do the sparkles on the heel, foot. get some. We're going to start with a base color here of the eye, which for some reason we can't use it too. Alright, we're going to go with that color. We just do up. So, one of the things they do with the eyes here, back to here, is they do go darker as they go up. So I want to kind of get the dark color they go. We're going to kind of airbrush them. It's a little too dark. Okay. Then they have squares, one of which is the base color. So we're going to go back, do line, base color, and then a line of a lighter color, a little bit right, up, all there. Go. And lastly, we get a black, almost perfect circle. Highlights. Now, like I said, their mouths are a little bit different than what color we normally go with. For some reason, they gave them orange tongues and this sort of purple color. So whenever you do the inside of the mouth of one of the ponies, you got that kind of color for their mouth, inside of their mouth, and an orange tongue. Why they chose that, I don't know. I mean, it's that way on all the characters. It is an odd choice, but hey. I guess it's a bit of a characteristic for it. So we need to add some sparkles to the hooves. Go back to the sparkles. Now, we're going to take that hair, we're lowering it down to 80. We're actually done with Luna as far as the drawing part for her is concerned. But we're going to still do the back. And so I kind of already started it, and I wanted to do this sort of curve, almost hill or building like, and with Moon, of course, because it is Luna. Gotta do, if you're gonna do Luna and you're gonna put her outside, you want to do it at night scene, and you kind of want to have her in the, or have the moon at some point in her draw. So I've already kind of set up the background. Should just do those two lines. I've already set up these two lines here for what I'm going to be going with. Go with this color green, and I'm just going to go with it straight on white right now on the nose. And we're going to work this bit by bit. So we can even hide, at least it's part of the drawing that we've done. Alright. First off, we want to do sort of a night scene. There are a couple of ways I could do it. One, because this is Clip Paint Studio, I can have basically literally backgrounds already established in the system, including night background. So we've got city night here, just night with a moon already, but we are already doing some of the moon. Night with another sort of city overnight. So we see different ways of doing night. I'm going to kind of go with this, where it's going to be blue, this dark blue overtone, because it's going to kind of work well with her. And we're going to work our way out from there. So I'm going to add this sort of contrasting blue, get a soft brush. I could do this with a gradient tool, but I want to kind of do it with a soft brush version. So I'm going to add clouds and stars. Typically when you draw a moonscape, you need to always make sure the moon is going to give off light. So it's a good idea to kind of even just do it on a little bit of a different layer, just a little bit of light source off the moon, fade it a bit. I'm going to add some purples into the night. I kind of want to add a little bit of color to it. Palette. Is that a bit of a change in color there? We're going to do a mountainscape. I kind of want to do a slight, eerie, sort of mist-like color, blue over it. We're going to hit the green a bit differently. We're going to do a different texture to it. And stuff. This is where I do want to bring sort of my sketch out a little bit, so I can see the lines of where I want to do things. So in this case, actually, the mountainscape is going to be up. See, this is all the wrong way here. So the mountainscape I need to do a little bit lighter there. Maybe add a little bit of black, not much. Right here would be the darker spot. work our way to the mountains. We want to do some stars. Normally, we can do the sparkles like she's got here. There's different ways to do it. One of my favorites is to use a tone brush. Just kind of get like a faded distance or spray. It's just kind of like sporadic. You get kind of you're not seeing it too much, but it kind of comes out. If I zoom in, you'll be able to see them coming in. It gives it sort of this rough texture of distant stars. Then we can come over with the more sparkly, and we just want to make sure it's the whitest, but we also want to make sure they're smaller so they're not as powerful as the ones on her. I don't know if it's coming through here. Hold on. Alright, I think we made them too small. Alright. We want them... think about that. Just sort of sporadic. There. Let's see here. Okay. Mountains. Again, with sort of a night scene. The distance, and I kind of can show you here. Let me open a new page here. I'll flip it. So you can kind of see what we're talking about. So you can see how they set this up. The buildings, the further back you go, they're dark. They're almost bluish black. And we're going to be doing kind of the same treatments with the mountains in the background here. We kind of want to go with dark blue to purple, and we're just kind of, well, let's make sure this is on the right layer here. A little bit. You want to give them sort of feel. Actually, I wanted to make sure I had this sort of lip-like mountain. So we go from there. Two. All right, one close. Started doing some little bit of texture to that, just a little off put, and we're just gonna take that blue that we're doing it in, lighten it just a hair. And if I wanted to, say, have that cliff have like a little bit of snow on it or something, we can go over here to light blue. carve it. Then from that light blue, do a little bit of a white outline, or whitish outline, just a little hint of blue. Sort of the same up here. Not as much. And a little bit on. You can see this is where going through and doing it on the hair really kind of shows. Bring in the blue bit. Alright, go back with the dark. And we'll do a bit more shadow areas. Right. Not too worried of going down deep in here, even though I'm going to put more in here, because it's literally going to be drawn up as we go. We're drawing it outward to the viewer, so that is where we're working. Pretty much the same with any additive, and we've kind of gone over this before, additive drawing versus subtractive. Additive, if you're working from a dark color out, so bringing a light color from a dark color, you are doing an additive drawing. Typically, the most notable of these in history and art would be the velvet Elvises or velvet drawing painting. That is an additive drawing, or an additive painting. So color was added to it and it pulled outward from the drawing. Whereas if you went with white, that's sort of a subtractive, so you would go from the lighter colors into the dark. So, let's see here. I'm using sort of this blue. I'm going to go with a bit of this dark purple. I'm just going to go over and add a little bit of sort of distant mountains from the mountains we're seeing. Okay. While I'm working from here, let's do another layer. I want to do some clouds. But I want to do it sort of the way kind of reflecting of her hair. So we're going to be kind of touching on some clouds, and we'll work from dark to light, and we're going to use the same purple we used for the mountains. So I'm going to kind of be like just view of these sort of cartoony-esque clouds. That's not going to go when I move forward. Why am I not hitting the thing? No, I don't want this to be a vector. Why is this a vector? Operate to that. I don't know why it's a vector. Alright. Let's try that again. Alright, so we're going to just do sort of wispy cloud. Not really any. Kind of get them faded. There's not much there. Maybe not as faded as 72. And then just come up with it with a excuse me. Let me get some water real quick. Better. Okay. We're going to add a little bit of, well, undo that. Add a little bit of a color outline to some of them that's facing the moon. It's only to where it's facing the moon. Change the thickness in certain spots. Maybe have a little bit over here. All right. Now I want to do kind of a forest down in here. So I'm actually going to go with this not white green, it's sort of a dark teal color is what I'm going to go with in here. So we're going to sort of, I might make that darker. I don't like how green it is. Go with the darker version. Just something that sort of changes up the blue to a little bit of green, so it'll mimic this green a little bit that she's standing on, which would be, of course, grass. We're just going to add touches. We're just going to kind of I don't like how that's coming out. Let me see if I can do a different brush here. Get an effect I kind of like. Let's see. That's crackles. I don't want to crackle though. Texture pen might not be better. So let's do a texture pen. Just kind of want to bring it down, shrink it a bit, some trees, sort of, just kind of making it look more like a forest down there with a couple of different trees. I'm going to change up the colors a little bit. Gray. Maybe a little bit of brown here. Let's do a little bit of dark brown in there. Just kind of want to give a feeling of trunks. Clump in there at the very bottom. And we're just going to have some water underneath. So this is going to actually, the water's almost going to be the same blue, but we're going to treat it a bit different here. Actually, I'm going to grab my watercolor brush. And we're going to take the white of the moon. And we're just going to sort of reflect it on the water. I'll go smaller brush. Might have to do it on a different layer. Slightly reflecting. And going back to the forest, we're going to do a little bit of just sort of cross-hatching, a little bit of texture, I guess, in the trees. Just kind of doing, what I'm kind of doing there is, like, well, I can't roll in there. I can do it on the, no, I can't. Okay. I can do it right here. I'm just doing kind of like those over and over again in the trees to kind of give them a little bit of volume sporadically. So we're just going through sporadically, giving them a little bit of volume. And by this point, I can actually remove the sketch we have underneath. Now we need to deal with the grass sort of curve that we got going here. So, and we also got to deal with the moon. So both of those were in our foreground. So I want to do a couple different layers here. Add on to, let's see here. And we're going to start with the moon. We're going to do a few things with the moon to give it volume, or give it more of a moon-like texture, but we're also going to try and keep it familiar to the series. So let me see if I can pull one up here. Actually, yeah, this works perfectly. So because it's the title image that we were using for this very drawing. So we click this and paste. So this was the very image I was using for the title card for today. We actually can see the moon. This is an animation moment from the series. Very simple done. And as you can see with the background, they kind of done a sort of lighter, but they treated the hair differently. They colored the swirls of the moon. We have kind of a reflection going on there. So we're kind of go with what they're looking like with the moon and how they treated it. Or no, yes, light transmission. So we want to kind of get those sort of swirls. On the moon. So we want to kind of do similar with this challenge. Let's go lighter. I'm going to go with that color. So they had circles on the moon. Basically what they do. And see, that's too dark. That's way too dark. So I'm going to lighten it up. It does get simpler than that. They do have a two-tone to the moon, so we're going to do that as well. So we want to kind of probably go a little bit lighter tone, shadow. And alright, we're not doing spray, we're going soft. Alright, and let's see, okay, that's that layer. So this layer. So add a little bit of a shadow to the moon. Let's see here. Grass. Normally I would use a brush that I love, that I have in my repertoire. I'll show you what the brush is. It is simply called, and this is a brush I suggest for anybody who does uses Split Paint Studio. It is a brush called the Ghibli Brush, because it gives a wonderful Ghibli-like effect. Ghibli-inspired brush. It gives a wonderful Ghibli grass effect. However, in this case, that doesn't fit the series because it's too realistic to animate. So we're not going to use the Ghibli brush. We are going to do sort of our own technique. One of the key things is we want to make sure we're color-wise with the grass to begin with, so we want to sort of get an idea of our shadows and our lights on here. So I'm going to go in different layers. Here, we're going to do this green. I don't know why it's not selecting from the layers that I've chosen, but alright. darker green, but we want to kind of fit in not too dark. So go kind of like that. But I need to sort of do this. Treatment, and then maybe a little bit darker under Luna. So let's go a bit darker. And since her shadow would be coming off the moon, we want it to go that direction. So now that we have sort of the base colors, we want to kind of bring this out in sort of grass ways. And we're going to be doing this with a standard pen. So we're going to be using our same pen that we drew for the drawing. Let's do it at 30. And the color I want to go with, because we're kind of doing her, we're going to start with a layer below, and we're going to be just kind of doing treatment like that. Little slashes. Give it a grass feel that kind of mimics the drawing. And that's kind of the thing. Whenever you're doing a drawing, especially if you're doing something like in this case where you're doing something more Americanized, or if you're doing something more anime style, or you're doing something realistic, you want to apply your techniques equal to how they would be done in that series. If it's offsetting, if the drawing and the background are different from that, if they don't look like they fit, it's going to be jarring for the picture, and you're going to have a hard time getting people to like it because it's going to be so off-putting. Now I'm running into one small issue where the color is being a little bit different on the shadow, but we can fix that as we go. So we just kind of want to make it look like a fuzzy tennis ball in this case. That's a little too much there. And I'm just going to kind of come back over it, see if I can get the line to blend, which I can. So we don't have this weird sort of spherical line showing up here. Now that we've kind of done this part of it, we can kind of go back over. So we want to grab from this layer this color. So this is sort of the medium color we've got. We kind of just want to go through, add a little texture into our grass. can see it kind of fades in the foreground right now. So we're going to be able to go darker, or we can even go a little bit lighter with some of the grass strands that we have. So that's a good thing to do with the medium color, the darker color, lighter color as well. Foregrounds tend to go lighter, but keep in mind our light source is the moon. So it's going to be actually going darker, maybe one or two along here, maybe a little bit lighter. It's important to remember where your light source is when you do a drawing. So we're just going to add our darker colors. Okay, so let's actually add a little bit of the light tone. Go back down here, get the light. Come back to our layer, the food grass. Kind of want to do a little bit of the light here. Because it just gives it a little bit of a texture to the grass. And it makes it look vastly more sort of alive, put together in this drawing. Now say if I wanted to keep a mist sort of over the woods and have those on-set layers for that good reason. So now we can actually go back, put a layer in here. And then I could use something like a brush. I've got a painting brush that I use for clouds specifically. And I kind of want to do a light blue mist. We're going to do this kind of lighter mist here. That's not the color. We're going to do a light blue mist over here. See, that's already on a different layer. I gotta see where that layer of the trees are. So where did I put that? Over here? Nope. Is it on this layer? Okay. So that's on that layer. So that tells me something I goofed. So I can go here, cut, nope, cut, go back down to where the tree should be, paste, and we're going to just take that mist, just kind of add, and I'll do another layer of it, again, select. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a different feel in certain spots. And we're getting, I mean, a fairly decent setup here. I could say I'm done with this painting or this drawing, but I do want to add sort of the glow on Luna. And in some cases, you would have to be like, oh, where am I going to pick this up? Where am I going to... I've kind of already done this. How am I going to do this? So we're going to start with outline. So we have her right here. We're just going to kind of select around her. And we're just going to invert the selection. And then we're just going to go to create a new layer here. And I kind of want to just do... They did a white. I don't want to do a white. I want to do a lighter blue. Actually, they did a blue. Okay, so they did do a white. I do want to kind of do a lighter blue on her. So we're going to actually take... I'm going to go with this blue. It's going to give a nice sort of mystery sort of look here. And all this is on another layer. That's the key. You want to make sure you're not doing this on the layer that you drew this. I still need to do her horn, as I see now. So I'm missing her horn. I haven't done her details in her horn. Gotta wait for it to say it first. We'll make sure we get her face. Flag a bit. Kind of get the feel. And actually, I am going to undo parts of that. And actually, I'll undo her face as well. I'm going to go with a smaller brush. Do that. Fade. Ever so slowly. So I can see what I'm doing here. Alright. I am going to do that as a light. Yeah. So it only affect drawing in certain spots. If I do see spots I need to fix, so we want to, inside of the wing here, it's going to be dark. And we need to deal, like I said, we missed the horn detail, so I need to go back and do the horn properly. And there's a spot I need to clean up on the horn, so we need to do that as well. We'll work on that real quick. So when doing the horns, they kind of do this curve. One spot right here that we'll talk about fix. Go over it. And basically, yeah, in an hour and a half, we've got a full drawing with background, with atmosphere from our sketch that we had done. And we can do a little bit more detail. We can do some more with the clouds. I could definitely try to make the hair look a little bit more flowing and whatnot. But I mean, this is not a terribly difficult character to draw. Most of the MLP, once you get used to them, with Laura Faust's design, they're fairly simple. And it comes from, her work as well as her husband's work. I believe they're still married. Craig McCracken. They have a very simplistic standard design in their drawing techniques, and you can easily learn them. Of course, Craig McCracken's best known for Powerpuff Girls. That is what he created. Laura was a bit on part with Powerpuff Girls as well. But when she came in and did the design for My Little Pony, it was she wanted to have a very stylistic but simple design that would be repetitive and altered to look for different characters. the same is for now. I think she was doing DC, Supergirl or whatever. Super Squad. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if she's doing anything else differently. I don't know what Greg's doing these days. But yeah, I mean, this is simply how one would go about doing a piece from scratch. Typically, with the design Laura did, a lot of the MLP cast was functional in pieces where they can cut and paste things in and animate it rather quickly. So that's why the designs were very generic, very easy to put together. But overall, I mean, I still love to draw them from time to time. I don't do them as often. I do them for my series, Princess War, where it's a crossroads of several different series coming into play, and the MLP group is involved. So yeah, I mean, it's whenever you're doing something, it's fun to learn the techniques and try a few different things that are different, just to get an idea of what you want a series or your drawing to look like. So first one I'm doing with 22. Alright. But yeah, overall, this is how we do it. I'm thankful for you all joining in today, and right now we're going to get on to our sponsor for the evening. And our sponsor, as always, is Built Bar. I love their products. I absolutely adore their products. I just ate a vanilla flavored Built Bar earlier today. They are low calorie, low carb, low sugar, high protein, wonderful replacements for protein bars, wonderful replacements for candy bars. Absolutely go and get yourself some. They have other products like the Built broth there, which is and my favorite is the chicken bone, which was seen there in the picture. Also, they have the Built Boost, which is a wonderful sort of immune system booster. They are strictly available on the web. You can't buy these in stores, but they are worth it, every penny. They focus on taste first, and then they go with what's good for you. So absolutely, I adore each and every one of these flavors that are pointed out here on the screen. Are flavors I love to eat. So get yourself some. Go to built.com. Use the promo code EmbryoArts. And I have to make a correction. It is not 10% off right now. If you go there and use the promo code EmbryoArts, you get at least 22% off. At least 22% off your order. They may be doing more than that. So go and check them out at built.com. Use the promo code EmbryoArts and get yourself some Built Bars today. They are absolutely delicious and great for that New Year's resolution. If you want to kick the curb of the fatty candy bars, do it. Do it. Absolutely. I absolutely love them, and they are wonderful. Until then, I do want to thank you all for joining in tonight and being part of this artwork. I will see you next week with a masking request put together, and we will be on with our streaming tomorrow night with a live stream with Tales of Arise. We'll be continuing it. I thank you all. Have a wonderful New Year. Good night, everyone.